Welcome to Lotus Lane Daily. I'm glad you're here. Today's wisdom is for anyone going through something hard. You know that feeling when the phone has been quiet for so long that you have stopped expecting it to ring? When a holiday comes around and there is an empty place that everyone politely does not mention? When you see a message from them and your heart leaps before you even read it, and then sinks because it is only practical, only cold, or because there is no message at all? Being estranged from your adult child is a grief that most people do not understand because the person you are grieving is still alive. They are out there in the world, they simply do not want you in it. And there is almost nothing that hurts a parent more than that. If you searched for this in the middle of the night, carrying a pain you can barely say out loud, this is for you. A grief with no funeral. The cruelty of estrangement is that it gives you all the loss with none of the support. When a child dies, the world gathers around the parent. When a child cuts contact, the world goes quiet. Or worse, it assumes you must have done something monstrous. So you grieve in silence, often in shame, often blaming yourself in ways no one else can see. Let us name it plainly. This is real grief. You are mourning a living person, a relationship, a future you assumed you would have. The holidays, the milestones, the ordinary phone calls other parents take for granted. The fact that there is no funeral does not make the loss smaller. It makes it lonelier. You are allowed to grieve this fully without apology, without minimizing it because they are technically still here. The question that loops. Almost every estranged parent lies awake running the same loop. What did I do? Where did it go wrong? Was it that thing I said, that year I was distant, that decision they never forgave? The mind searches for the single cause because a single cause would mean a single fix. The honest truth is that estrangement usually has many threads, and they do not all belong to you. Sometimes a parent genuinely caused deep harm, and the distance is the adult child protecting themselves, and the hard, humble work is to face that honestly. Sometimes the adult child has been influenced by a partner, a difficult period, a new framework for understanding their past. Sometimes it is a painful mix and no one is purely the villain. What helps is to step out of the courtroom. You can hold two things at once. You can take real specific responsibility for the ways you fell short because every parent falls short somewhere. And you can also stop sentencing yourself to a lifetime of being all bad because no honest account of any parent is all bad. The loop of pure self-blame is not accountability. It is just suffering, and it does not bring your child closer. What you can and cannot control. This is the hardest part. You cannot force a relationship. You cannot argue, plead, or guilt your adult child back into contact. Pressure almost always pushes an estranged child further away because pressure confirms whatever story made them leave. What you can control is who you are if the door ever opens. You can do the inner work honestly. You can stop defending and start genuinely understanding their experience, even the parts that are painful to hear. You can keep a quiet, low-pressure line open, a message on a birthday with no demand attached, so they know the door is not locked. And then you can let go of the outcome, which is the cruelest instruction of all, and also the only one that protects your own life. There is a line from a collection of philosophical writings worth holding here. Hope is not a matter of ability, it is a matter of decision. You do not need to feel hopeful to choose to live as though reconciliation remains possible. Holding the door open is a decision you make, not a feeling you wait for. Things that actually help. Stop the surveillance. Many estranged parents track their child through social media, mutual contacts, fragments of news. It keeps the wound permanently open. You do not have to cut off all awareness, but consider stepping back from the constant monitoring. It feeds the pain without feeding the relationship. Write the letters you do not send. Put down everything you feel, the love, the regret, the anger, the longing. Not to deliver it, but to move it out of the loop in your head and onto a page. It releases pressure that otherwise has nowhere to go. Do the honest reckoning once and properly. Sit with a trusted friend or a counselor and look squarely at your part. Name it, own it. Then let that be the reckoning rather than relitigating it every night forever. Genuine accountability is a clear act, not an endless punishment. If you do reach out, keep it clean. No guilt, no list of grievances, no demand for an explanation. Something simple. I love you. I think about you. The door is always open whenever you are ready, with no conditions. Then leave the space. Pressure closes doors. Patience holds them open. Build a life that is not on hold. This feels like a betrayal of your love, and it is the opposite. Letting your whole existence stop, waiting by a silent phone, helps no one and quietly tells your child you cannot function. Friendships, purpose, small joys. A parent who is living well is also a parent who is easier to come home to. Holding hope without being destroyed by it. Estrangement is not always permanent. Many adult children do come back, often after years, often when something in their own life shifts. You cannot count on it, and you cannot organize your survival around it. But you also do not have to declare it dead. There is a thought from old philosophical teaching. Winter always turns to spring. Never, from ancient times on, has anyone heard or seen of winter turning back to autumn. It is not a guarantee about your specific situation. It is a reminder that frozen things are not always frozen forever, that the present silence is not necessarily the final word. So you live in the difficult middle. You grieve honestly. You do your own work. You keep the door open without standing in the doorway every hour of every day. You let yourself have a life, and you stay someone your child could return to, if and when they are able. This is one of the deepest sorrows a parent can carry, and the fact that it hurts this much is only the measure of how much you love them. That love is not wasted, even now, even unanswered. Be gentle with yourself tonight. You are carrying something very heavy, and you are still standing. That's the wisdom for today. If something here landed for you, share it with one person who might need to hear it too. Take it slow. I'll see you tomorrow on Lotus Lane Daily.